Hello and welcome to a breaking edition of the WrestleTalk news. I am Luke ONDAD. I will apologise for this backdrop. I am filming this at home. I also apologise for the audio that I may do, and I will apologise for this. This is a reveal that's supposed to happen next week, so apologies, spoilers. When it does happen next week, make sure you stay acting surprised, or act surprised when you see the reveal next week. Don't pretend that ignore this part of me, which is hard because I'm basically going to try and watch my mouth. But anyway, breaking news for us here on the WrestleTalk news. Sad breaking news, it must be said as well, because there have been 3 releases from WWE. Those 3 being Baron Corbin, Tegan Nox, and Indi Hartwell. Baron Corbin is slightly different to Hartwell and Nox in that Hartwell and Nox have been released from their WWE contracts. They will be free agents within 90 days, and Baron Corbin has been informed that his contract will not be renewed. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful is currently saying that he doesn't know when that is. It's just that his contract will be up soon, and when it is up, they will not be re-signing him. They informed him of that today. He did put out a tweet, the kind of like before the news came out, saying, "That's all she wrote, folks," with a peace sign emoji, saying, "It's been real, and I appreciate everyone who supported me." It was quite hard for me to go and find that because I actually remembered as I went to go and find this, he blocked me on Twitter, I think like in 2018. I want to say it was like 2018 when he blocked me. I don't know why. I'd never interacted with him on Twitter. I guess he just didn't like that I was a podcaster or something like that. But yeah, it then took me ages to find this tweet. He might have even deleted it. I don't know. I couldn't find it. I've only found a screen cap of it. Could be fake for all I know, but I'm pretty sure that it is a genuine tweet. So he put up that Sean Ross Sapp then said Baron Corbin was given notice by WWE that his contract will expire and will not be re-signed. Corbin was a guy that kind of had like a totally fine main roster run, I suppose you could say. He was like always like kind of a good sort of mid-card guy. He was oddly chosen to be like the poster child for WWE's failure in 2019. Remember when the McMahons had that? Like Vince, Shane, Stephanie, and Triple H all stood in the ring and said, "We're sorry that our product is bad," and then they all blamed it on Baron Corbin. Do you remember that? It was a really weird time. He was the GM. He was Constable Corbin. But then he went down to NXT and like completely reinvented himself and had this incredible second wind run in WWE, tagging with Bron Breakker. And in fact, people were calling for them to be called up as a tag team when they both went back to the main roster. But Baron Corbin's ascent back to the main roster has not really been much of anything. Has he even had a match? Let me just quickly check. I've got a cage match up for everyone else. Let me just quickly check for Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin. Let's have a look here. Matches. I'd imagine he's done a lot of house shows. So yeah, so he had a dark match on Friday Night SmackDown, middle of last month. He was tagging with Apollo Crews, wasn't he? That's right. So yeah, it's kind of just sort of went into a different tag team with Apollo Crews, but obviously that has now come to an end. Indi Hartwell was released from her contract. Sean Ross Sapp is reporting that Indi Hartwell will be departing WWE and effectively be a free agent in 90 days' time. She was someone who had a really good run down in NXT as part of The Way with Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis. It didn't quite translate to the main roster. She just sort of tagged with Candice LeRae, but she was kind of part of that women's tag team division that really wasn't given much time on the main roster. And then her and Candice obviously drafted to SmackDown. Candice is now in the sort of the speed division. She's doing all the Twitter stuff, and Indi hasn't really done much of anything. She never really sort of got back to the heights that she had with The Way and the marriage angle that she did with Dexter Lumis. I'd imagine there'll be a lot of Index fans out there who'll be very sad by this news that Indi Hartwell is. I'm not trying to laugh at Indi Hartwell doing a job. That's obviously a terrible thing. I reminded myself of the Index time. I remember when Tempest and Pete used to do the NXT reviews, and they hated all the Index stuff. because they're miserable. And I used to just like pop into their streams on the WrestleTalk podcast and troll them about it, being like, no, Index is great, Index is awesome, people love Index, just to kind of wind them up, because that is the sort of friend that I am. And then lastly, there is Tegan Nox, or Nixon Newell, as some might also know her by. A real sad story for Tegan Nox / Nixon Newell. She got signed years and years ago. I think she's been with WWE sort of on and off. When did she first sign with them? She first signed with WWE like in 2017. So she was there for a long, long time, and then got released in 2021. She kind of had a really bad injury, and then she returned under the Triple H regime, and it was kind of like, she had like I think she had a name changed to Nox or something like that when she was under the Vince era. Came back as Tegan Nox, but again, just sort of like didn't really get much of a good run this second time round. She was tagging with Natalya for a little bit. She also was a bit of a victim of when Vince McMahon sort of forced his way back into the company and was interfering with creative. They were doing the storyline on Raw when Becky Lynch was the NXT Women's Champion, and she was going to defend the belt against Tegan Nox, and then Vince at the last minute like scrapped those plans. And then like 2 weeks later, they sort of had to like find they had to sort of make up a reason as to why it didn't happen. And they did the match, and that's what it was. But it kind of like sort of damaged Nox, I think personally. And then she was just sort of tagging with Natalya, losing in tag matches for the tag titles, and then she was in the Rumble this year. But kind of looking at her cage match, where have I got her cage match up here? Yeah, she hasn't wrestled for WWE since July. July 5th was her last match. She lost in a dark match to Blair Davenport. Remember her? And before that, she'd wrestled in June. Before that, had wrestled in May. Before that, then wrestled in April. And that was when she was doing the Natalya tag run pre-draft. So, yeah, it's kind of like she, from by all accounts, has not been injured. She's not been hurt. She's just not been used, I suppose would be the way to put it. Sean Ross Sapp on his Fightful stream said that she is one of the people that gets asked about a lot by fans of, where's Tegan Nox? Where's Nixon Newell? Like, why isn't she being used? And there's never really been much of an answer for anything. I actually did check her Twitter, and on August 30th, she made a joke about the fact that she couldn't get booked in the Speed tournament to crown the first ever women's Speed champion. She tweeted, "Can't even get booked on a tattoo show, let alone entered into the Speed tournament," with the eyes emoji and then the upside down smiley face emoji. So yeah, from that was on August 30th, so that sort of suggests to me that maybe she's been a bit frustrated for a while, but that's pure conjecture on my part, of course. So yeah, the wording on Sean's tweet about Tegan Nox, who was the first one to be reported. Tegan Nox is departing WWE and will effectively be a free agent in 90 days. So yeah, that's it. According to Sean Ross Sapp, the claim within WWE is that the three departures, Indi Hartwell, Tegan Nox and Baron Corbin, are the only ones leaving in this round. For Hartwell and Nox, we're working to find out if their deals were coming up in 90 days or if they were releases. He then announced that they were releases on Fightful Select and on his YouTube show. So yeah, very sad news. 3 releases for WWE. Please leave your comments down below with your favourite moments for Baron Corbin, Tegan Nox and Indi Hartwell. Show your love for Index in the comments, just to wind up Pete and Tempest if nothing else. And yeah, I'm hoping the best for them, of course. And we'll have more on this maybe over the weekend. By the looks of it, it is only going to be these 3 names. And Sean was quite clear on that on his Fightful show, that it is likely just going to be these 3 names. But if there are more, then we will report on those as they happen. And we'll be back on Sunday with our Crown Jewel coverage. Ollie Davis will be doing a full review of that and a podcast review with the Professor Dan Layton over on the WrestleTalk podcast channel. By the way, if you haven't seen the news for Crown Jewel, the title belts are not the prize that you win. those title belts exist, but you don't actually win the title belt. Instead, you win a ring, a big ring. So that sounds cool. But yeah, it's Crown Jewel tomorrow, so we'll see you for our live coverage on then. Till then, I've been Luke Owen, DAD. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe as well if this is your first time to the channel. We do daily news videos and sometimes breaking news videos like this, where I'm sort of trying to do a presenter voice, but also not trying to wake up my toddler. Yes, my little girl's asleep at the moment, so I don't think I've woken her up, so go me. We'll see you again soon. Jam that jam.